What's going on? What's going on, everybody? 1 second here. Still trying to get everything kind of set up. There we go. I think. Hold on. What just happened? There we go. Oh, my goodness. You guys hear me okay? Everything coming in clear? I got a new monitor. It's huge. Oh, man. You like that hover helmet, do you? Everybody likes that hover helmet, man. It's one of my favorite things. All right, let's see if we can get this this headset set up. Ooh, how is everybody? Let's see what we got here in the chat right out of the gate. First one on the show tonight was Between the Trenches. You, sir, get a very special Crisp High Five. That's your award tonight. Iceberg Players, what's going on, sir? Jermaine Dunbar Trucking ICC, what is going on, sir? Junkyard Dog, how are you, sir? Dwayne RTR, welcome back. Audio a little out of place, yeah. It's just some non-copyrighted music I run in the background just so it's not so flat. Michael Porter, I've got our resident members in here. Dwayne RTR, Sea Dog West. Stray Dog, James Willoughby, what's going on? Crimson Brave. All right. Love your glasses. Got me some. I'm supposed to wear glasses, but a lot of times they just get in my way. I have what they call nystagmus or astigmatism or whatever it is. I don't know what it's called. But basically at nighttime when I look at stuff, I see like 4 of them, and it's all starburst pattern. So I have to have glasses. All right. here. Let's do headphones. Headphones works good tonight. There we go. There we go. Okay. Tonight, I had a message from, what do you call it? I had a message from Keith, Big Dog Keith. He will be joining the show later on. He's out and about right now. I also had a message earlier, or actually late last night, from Vernon Speaks Sports. He'll be joining the show here most likely. He's supposed to be off today. It did not update my ticker. Wait a second here. Let me fix that, gentlemen. Can't have that. It's unacceptable. So for those of you who don't know, I have been having some PC problems. Looks like they are now resolved. Also been working on a new video for you guys I think you're going to like. I'm really starting to step up my video editing game. So you should see some new stuff coming in pretty soon. It amazes me what you can do with video editing software. It is really when you think you know a little something about how to edit video, you don't know anything. Man, there's like there's about 1 million different things that you can learn from that you had no idea even existed. So I can't imagine how somebody came up with the technology to do these things, more or less, teach somebody else how to do them. I mean, me just going through a tutorial blows my mind. I can't imagine somebody thought up how to do this and then figured out a way to make it so other people can do it. It's just incredible. Okay. That should be a little better. Okay. All right, get back to the chat. I apologize, Mr. Chat. Sorry to hear what's going on. What's going on, Greg? Stigmatism. That is correct. That's what it's called. Want to borrow our offense for Florida. We're not doing anything with it this Saturday. Yes. Send it on down. We'll take it. Absolutely. Okay. Man, everybody is so hard on the dogs right now, man. What is going on or not going on? Talking about the offense. Oh, man, somebody texturating me. Let me see. Invite. Let's see. Copy the clipboard. There we go. Okay. Ooh, what's going on, Pastor Dave? Another one of our resident members. Thank you for joining the show, sir. We are trying to get to 10 million subscribers and 5 million members by the end of this show. So help a brother out. What's going on, Tickety Top? How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing okay, man. I hadn't talked to you in a while. Ooh, here we go. The score predictions already. Georgia 31, Florida 24. Pastor Dave. Kirby Dose make stupid judgments for show. Stetson Bennett is Florida's best player. Oh, I needed this. You guys crack me up, man. All right, let's see if I can send him the old Gmail invite here. Let's do Gmail. Oh, boy. Here we go. Ooh, hot salsa. All right, guys. Who do you think is going to be, other than Stetson Bennett, who do you guys think is going to be the best weapon for Georgia? I'm typing an email address here, guys. I'm not ignoring you. Actually, I am ignoring you, but there's not a lot you can do about it at the moment. Or not a lot I can do about it at the moment. I said that wrong. Okay, here we go. See if this works out. Woo, let's see. Somebody said Cook. Jackson, drop your channel link at Pastor Dave. What did Pastor Dave say? Where'd he go? Did he say something? Hey, we like Pastor Dave. There he is. This is the best comment all night so far right here. This is the best comment. Dwayne says, breaking news. Bennett is an inch taller. Gators have their hands full. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Hey, if this is your first time watching the show, do me a favor, guys. Go ahead and hit like, subscribe, thumbs up, share the video. That's how we grow the channel. Can't get there without you guys. You guys are the best. Without you, I'm just left to sit in the corner and talk to myself like I did before I discovered I could do it for YouTube. Oh, I thought Pastor Dave, I thought Junkyard Dog was telling me to drop your link. Not sure. All right. This is going to be an interesting game. Really going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting. So Greg says Cook. C-Dog West says Carius Jackson. Between the Trenches says Washington, number 0. Elite GB says Dewan running the ball. Now, I would be very surprised if they put if they put Dewan in on this game. I would be stunned. I would be stunned. Pickens. You know what I see? I kind of set you guys up. I apologize, but not really. Cook, Jackson, Washington, Dewan, Pickens. Pickens wasn't suspended. I believe he was injured. Speaking of suspended players, Greg, you want to go ahead and break that down for me there? Yeah, Pickens is already Pickens is playing. They said Pickens is going to play, so we should see him on the field. Whether or not Bennett will be able to throw the ball high enough for Pickens to reach down and catch it, that's entirely different question. So I'm not sure. What's the over and under on Bennett batted passes? Ooh, I'll take this one. I'll take, if the number is 3, I'll take over. If it's 4, I ain't betting. If it's 5, I'll take under. Pickens didn't travel with the team? Or Bennett didn't travel with the team? Don't get me too excited now. Oh man, I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I'm not sure why Pickens didn't travel with the team. How many defensive players are hurt? The main ones I've heard so far are Jordan Davis and Richard LeCount. Obviously, Richard LeCount having been in a dirt bike accident on a highway. Dirt bike accident on a highway. And they're saying Scene may play, may not. We don't know yet. Jordan Davis is a big loss, but the defensive line is pretty substantial. I think we'll be just fine. I think a lot of people overlook Azeez Ojulari. The guy is absolutely incredible. I don't know why everybody misses that guy. He does not get – Azeez Ojulari does not get enough he doesn't get enough praise, man. That guy's incredible. Prayers for LeCount, absolutely. Johnny Red Dot with the second best comment of the night. What coach makes millions of dollars and buys a $29 Darth Vader costume? For the amount of money that man makes, he could have bought a life-size, for real, Darth Vader outfit. like the whole like get up costume. If I was gonna do it, man, that's the way I would do it. It looks like he stole his kid's costume. Man ought to be ashamed. Of course, some might say he might be a little immature because he was out there trying to fist fight in the middle of the field. But hey, it's neither here nor there. He's a Florida man. Aziz is amazing, but he's so good just because Davis swallowed up 2 linemen. I don't know, man. Aziz he's on the edge, man. And he gets around really, really well all by himself. So that you watch, Aziz Ojulari will have at least 2 sacks in this game. At least 2. The guy's amazing. Dark mullet. Oh, you guys crack me up, man. I thought Darth was kind of cool. He's definitely something else. All right, so we're going to wait a little bit, guys. In a little bit, we're going to have some other people jump on, and we're going to get it. We're going to go through the schedule. For those of you who don't know, there were games yesterday, and there's 2 games tonight. And then there's 3 games tomorrow. Actually, 2 games. 2 of those games will be worth watching. They're late games, so you should be off work by then. And then we have our normal host of football games here on Saturday. I think this Saturday is the most football in one day we have had since the season began. And then we've had about 7 games so far that have either been canceled or postponed. I do want you guys to know that if you really, really like college football and you want to watch it till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you can do that with the New Mexico at Hawaii game, which starts at 11 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be late. Super, super late, which should wrap up after the second most watched game of tomorrow. Since Alabama's not playing, they can't say that their games are going to be the most watched. So 2 biggest games tomorrow will be the Florida-Georgia game, the world's largest minus cocktail party, minus the cocktails. And, yeah. Michael Porter, he tossed $5 on the table here, sir. I guess you didn't get a comment in, but I will. I certainly appreciate the super chat. I will add. I don't know. I'll add something to it. If you throw another comment down there, we'll put it up on the screen. You can say whatever you want to say. Y'all forgot that McIntosh didn't travel to Kentucky as well. McIntosh was out of that game. Pickens was out of that game. I think there was a couple others. They say JT is cleared by his personal doctor. He should play. I ain't believing that until I see him step on the field. I'm not buying that. No, sir. Not doing it. Ain't happening, Captain. Whew, man, it's been a long day. Been a long day. Every time I look up in the corner at that StreamYard logo up there, I think that's a $sign on that duck's ear, but it's not. It's just an S for StreamYard. Bama boy. What's going on, buddy? Sean Gomes. Appreciate the comment. If you get you a chance, I found one of these metal, and it's actually, I mean, it's good size. This thing's kind of big. It's kind of hard to show how big it is, but I got big hands. But this thing is great for putting hot coffee in. I put coffee in it this morning at like 6. I think I made the coffee at 7. And I think I put it in the thermos at like 7:30. And I was still drinking coffee at 11. It was still hot. Does Kendall Milton have a breakout game? I'm not sure, Junkyard Dog. It's hard to tell with him because he has games where he looks really good, and then he has games where he looks kind of It just kind of depends on what the offensive line is doing. I'm hoping that the offensive line is kind of settling down and starting to create some holes. That's tomorrow is going to be a long day too. Yes, tomorrow is going to be a big day. Rumors about DeJuan transferring. Now, let's see. I've looked at his social media. I tried to find him on Twitter. I can't find his Twitter page. Apparently, it disappeared, or maybe he didn't have one. I can't find him on Instagram. I can't find him on Facebook or MySpace or TikTok or anywhere else. So I saw somebody had posted that he had taken all the UGA stuff off of his social media, which would incline me to believe that he has a social media. Most of these players do. I just don't. I just don't know. I haven't seen anything, but from my understanding, if you kind of weigh things out and you look at how it all works out, you've got Stetson Bennett who's leading the team, and then for whatever reason they've got DeJuan Mathis as the backup. Now, is that because Kirby is trying to go with somebody who's got some experience? Maybe. But does that mean that he's not going to give DeJuan an opportunity to get any experience? And we're looking at the Justin Fields situation 2.0. That's certainly something he's having to have heard. And I'm really hoping that Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator for Georgia, has taken that into consideration, that they really need to put this guy on the field. We've had opportunity to, we just haven't done it. I highly doubt that I highly doubt that you're going to see DeJuan Mathis as the starter. Now, even though JT Daniels may have been cleared to play, I think that whenever they said that he was cleared to play in the Auburn game, I think that was just Kirby playing chess with coach speak, trying to get Auburn to prepare for three quarterbacks, knowing that we really only had the one. Looking back now, I think that it may not be what's up, Samuel Pate? James Madden says on Instagram, DeJuan still has all his UGA stuff. He may have taken it out and put it back up for all I know. I mean, I just heard the rumors. I cannot confirm. Somebody up here said, will Clemson beat Notre Dame by more than 5 points? Yes. Yes. They will probably beat them by 10 points at least. They have not seen a running back like Travis Etienne. They have not seen wide receivers like what they have at at Clemson. They don't have the speed that Clemson does to cover those guys downfield. I think they get burned over the top quite a bit. What is my stat line prediction for Bennett? I'm not sure what you mean by that, sir. Be a little more specific, and I'll be glad to dig into it. Let's see here. You want a lock? I want a lock of the week. Are you talking about a safe bet for the week? You got the Irish this week. I wouldn't, dude. There is no way I would pick Notre Dame. There's no way. I made this like 2 hours ago. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can see the smoke coming out of that thing, man. Let's see if we can do it like this. No, I can see it. Y'all probably can't. Oh, well. Just know it is hot. Has there been any reports of injuries for the other quarterbacks? If there are any to report at all, I'm not sure if this question has been asked or answered. What's up, the Barons Archives? I have not heard of any additional injuries for quarterbacks. But I will drink coffee all night. Absolutely. And go to bed and sleep like a baby. Clemson looked bad against Boston College last week. I think that was more of a cohesion problem between Ugalali, golly, what a day, as quarterback, and the team just not being real familiar with him. But they still seem to manage to function just fine once they kind of got into a rhythm. The team did just fine. Pastor Dave says, I do not understand why Kirby wants y'all's offense to be like Alabama's old offense. We don't either. What my assumption is that there has been many opportunities, or they have given DeJuan opportunities in practice, and he doesn't seem to be able to perform at least the way Kirby wants him to. Maybe the offensive line is used to a quarterback who really stands in the pocket. When we went back and watched DeJuan Mathis, he really seemed to be more mobile, moving around in the backfield a lot more. Maybe Kirby wants somebody who's a little more anchored, but still has some mobility. Probably my train of thought is that with JT Daniels, if JT Daniels was 100% good to go, you wouldn't need somebody in California being his personal doctor saying, hey, he's good to go to play. So that lends me to believe that JT Daniels is just now actually being cleared and good enough to play. If Stetson struggles in the first half, do you think he will get benched? No, Kirby's too hard-headed for that. What's going on, Bearded Dog? 49.2%. That's percentage of third down Florida's opponents have converted. And that's saying something considering who they've played, because they've played a really bad LSU team. They've played a Mizzou team that's not very good. That's really interesting. He won't pull Bennett. I mean, if Bennett can throw 3 interceptions in a one or two score game and he leaves him in, he's not going to pull him in this game. I'll see you later, Greg. Thanks for joining the show, sir. I really appreciate you being here. They need to run RPOs with Mathis. They need to just switch to a modern-day offense, and I don't know if maybe that's why the offense is lagging behind, is because they're trying to implement that, but they're not ready yet. I'm not sure. Well, that's what Kirby said about Justin Fields. Yeah, Kirby Smart is never going to live that down. What's going on with Zach Games? Yeah, Kirby's never going to live that down. Packers are playing. I'm not a big Packers fan. I got a friend who is, though. Got a couple of friends who are, actually. How do you get one of those blue wrenches? I don't know. I mean, I see these guys show up. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Vernon's trying to get into the show here. Let's just do allow recipients. One second, guys. Hey, what's going on, Brad Pitt? This guy has the right idea. This is the right idea. Like, share, subscribe. I like it. I'll allow it. 5 stars. Let's see here. A modern day offense would be great. A modern day of would be great. I'm believing you're going to say offense there. Diggy Olmstead says Florida for sure. Michael Porter says both. Pastor Dave said you got to pick one. How many yards, interceptions, touchdowns do I think Stetson will have? Passing? It really depends on how Georgia wants to approach this game. I'm gonna put him somewhere around about 180 yards passing. I would probably say 1 interception and maybe 2 touchdowns. I think if he can do that, then we win. 3 points is basically saying it's a toss-up. Let's see here. Turn this down. And everybody's let's see. Let's see. What was this other thing here? Hold on a second. All right, there, gentlemen. You're now moderators. Not that we really need them in here. Most people tend to behave pretty well, so I don't even have to worry about it. I mean, the language in this channel, just in the stream, stays really civil. We have a really, really good group of people here. All right, let's bring in let's bring in Vernon here and let's see what we got.
What's going on, big dog? How you doing tonight?
Doing great, sir. How are you?
Man, pretty good. It's a boring bye week at Auburn. As a matter of fact, we're coming off of I guess a good win over, hell, who did we just play? Shit, LSU. Coming off a good win over. And the reason why is it's so funny because I'm not used to beating LSU 48-11. So it's like, it was almost like when you look at this 10-game SEC schedule, who would have thought that LSU would be our cupcake this year? So I mean, it's just kind of odd. So what you got, big dog? Y'all got a big one against Florida this coming weekend, and
Well, to kind of, did I lose you, Vernon? Vernon, did I lose you?
I just want to know what are your thoughts on this Georgia-Florida game this weekend?
Well, I really think that this is. Oh
no, I'm still here. I lost myself. I was like, man, what the hell happened? But I'm still
here. To go ahead and give you my personal opinion on how I'm viewing this upcoming matchup with UGA. There's a lot of people that are viewing the game as Georgia's a major underdog, especially with the offense sputtering the way it is. So, hey, what's going on, Christy? One of the things that I do is I often feel like past performance is a great indicator of current performance. Good looking honky never lets me down with his names, man. This guy cracks me up. Anyway, I have to base what my prediction is for UGA off of what we currently have on the field, how we're playing on the field, and how did we do last year with the same or less. Now I'm gonna throw some information out there, and a lot of people are gonna go, really? One of the things I like to do is dig into the stats, and I have found out that last year, with as bad as Jake Fromm was, Stetson Bennett's numbers are actually better than Jake Fromm's. Now, he's catching a ton of heat for it. But last year, Georgia's defense was not as good as it is this year. And Stetson Bennett is playing better than Jake Fromm. We just forget how bad Jake Fromm was last year because his first year, he got us to a natty. And you could say him, and you could say the guys around him, however you want to say to it. He was the quarterback when Georgia went to the national championship game. So I think a lot of people take his last year's performance and almost sweep it under the rug because they're so excited about, wanting to see a change in the offense. There's so much going on. 3 or 4 quarterbacks. You got number 1 quarterback in the nation coming in next year. Number 1, one of the best OCs of all time at the helm at UGA. And people are looking at Stetson Bennett and they're going, man, only 14 points. This is terrible. We were worse last year. We really were. If Georgia can put up 21 points against Alabama with Stetson Bennett at the helm, then I really feel like Georgia can do at least 28 against Florida. I don't think that's unreasonable. What do you think?
Well, I actually am erring to the side of Georgia's defense. I think these guys play incredibly well on defense. They create a lot of opportunities that a lot of folks don't account for. And they're one of the best teams in the country defensively. And I think if they can be opportunistic, and if they can create some turnovers, and if they can create some, field position type situations, I still think this could be a easy situation to where it's like the normal Georgia versus Florida games, to where it's an okay game for a half, and then Stetson Bennett gets a little confidence, and next thing you know, you have a situation where the Dogs, who honestly recruits among the best in the country, could potentially beat the hell out of Florida this weekend. I got Georgia 2 touchdowns against Florida this weekend, to be honest. I mean, that's just where I sit, because I look at SEC football all the time, and we inflate these teams when they get a big win, and then we deflate them when they get a huge loss. But we got to be real about this. It's all about how these two teams have actually recruited, and I think Georgia is in a better place here. I think they'll be better at the line of scrimmage on both sides. I think they have the better defense. So if Georgia doesn't beat Florida by 2 touchdowns, I'll honestly be disappointed.
I completely agree. For those of you who are in the channel, if you guys don't know, Vernon Speaks Sports has his own channel, and even though I'm sworn in the blood to hate Auburn as a mortal enemy, Vernon's a pretty good Auburn fan, and if I can say that, you better believe he's a pretty good guy. He doesn't disappear whenever he makes a prediction. If he gets it wrong, he doesn't disappear. He owns it.
Oh man, I've got something wrong too. As a matter of fact, Big Dog, the worst one though, honestly, was when I predicted you all to beat Texas a couple of years ago in that Sugar Bowl.
Oh,
man,
God,
I got my behind ate
game
up on my channel for that one.
Oh man, yeah. I'll tell you right now.
So here's the thing. Now, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Now here's my question.
There's a delay, so we accidentally step on each other. You're good, dude.
Okay, so here's my question. I'm looking at the Georgia wide receiver core, and this is going to be a key to this game, I think. Now, I'm looking at the fact that Kearis Jackson, 24 catches, 348 yards, 14.5 yards per catch. What are we going to do about George Pickens being a little bit more productive? Why is he not as productive as I think he should be? 13 catches, 140 yards, only averaging 10.8 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns. How are we going to get him in action over there in Athens?
So this is a question that, believe it or not, I get asked a lot. I get asked this all the time because people have seen George Pickens in action and they go, "Holy smokes, this guy is amazing." And it's kind of like, appreciate the super chat, sir. Let me put it to you this way. If your best player on the field is Herschel Walker, right? You know, going into this game, you got to stop Herschel Walker or Bo Jackson. We'll just say Bo Jackson since you're an Auburn fan. Now, every time that ball is snapped, I'm going to put either my strong side or my weak side linebacker, and I'm going to say, no matter what, if Bo Jackson is in the game, I don't care if he lines up at the X spot. I don't care if he lines up as a slot guy. I don't care where. If he lines up on the damn line of scrimmage, I want you in his face. That's your job the whole game.
I can respect that.
So whenever you see a guy like George Pickens, when he steps on the field, they're going to pull a corner and they're going to put one of the safeties or one of the linebackers to help cover that guy. That's going to happen. So what ends up happening is whenever you stick Kearis Jackson on one side and you stick Pickens on the other side and you send them out, now the defense has to choose. And they say, okay, we know George Pickens can make circus catches. We are going to make Kearis Jackson do the same to beat us. And what happens is that Pickens is covered up. They've got to throw to Kearis Jackson because then that's your one-on-one. That's the only open they give you. And he's been catching it. So whenever you see
he ate our asses up when y'all played us down in Athens.
That's like Alabama. Did anybody other than Alabama fans know who in the hell Mitchie was until he started playing? No. This guy, if you go back and you watch Mitchie, this is probably the most talented wide receiver I have seen in Alabama in many years, and he's just now getting started. I'm talking about a guy that can make catches like the arm, the defender's arm is like on his forehead, and he's catching the ball around it like this, right? And he brings it in. It was like the corners are getting up and going, I'm doing everything but stabbing this guy, and he's still catching the dang ball. What do I do? When you have a receiver who's of that quality, there's nothing you can do. There is really nothing you can do. Waddle, Ruggs, Judy, all of those guys were of the same caliber. But the thing that you have is when you had Ruggs out there, when you had Judy out there, when you had Waddle out there, all at the same time, you got the two on the ends and one lined up in the slot. You can't double cover all those guys. There's not enough guys to do that with. And so you would just get killed. And that's kind of what you're seeing now is that they recognize that George Pickens is an incredible athlete. And if you've listened to Kirby Smart's press conferences, especially post game, he will say that we go with what they give us. Right? We go with what the defense gives us. That's why he takes the play callers like Stetson Bennett and Jake Fromm, because he believes those guys to be game managers, and he wants a quarterback that can read a defense. So whenever he sees, okay, George Pickens is going to get lined up, they're basically putting him out there as a diversion at that point, and they're saying, let's see what we can get out of this. So Karius Jackson has some moves. So he'll go out there, he'll run a route, it'll be 1-to-1, and then if everybody on the offensive and defensive line sits down crisscross applesauce in the middle of the field, Stetson Bennett will throw a pass across the middle, and Karius Jackson will catch it.
I get where you're going, but when you have an elite receiver like George Pickens, is there a situation where you can maybe now where are they lining? Because I don't really watch Georgia like that. Where are they aligning George Pickens? Because I'm thinking maybe you can vary how you have him in the scheme as far as formation wise, where you line him up at. Maybe line him up a little bit more interior. Maybe align him more to where you create some mismatches. Like I when I saw the stats, I still am not understanding why he's not getting the stats that he probably should be getting.
So the other thing that you got to take into consideration is that Kirby Smart is about as transparent as this is. And so when there's an injury, you will not find out until after the game, maybe 2 games later. We didn't know that DeAndre Swift was banged up last year in the SEC championship game. We didn't know that until after the game, because everybody's like, why in the hell aren't we handing the ball to DeAndre Smith? Why not? And then come to find out, well, he's actually been dinged up for a couple of games. He's got a rib injury on the right side. And
he's got 3 cracked ribs, but we're still handing him the freaking ball off. Sounds like Gus Mal, the SEC championship game in 2017, when we played you guys, and we still handing off to Kerryon Johnson with his freaking shoulder hanging off of his damn. I don't want to talk about it. It's all good.
Hold on, man. Hold on. We gotta talk to Ninja Turtle here. Ninja Turtle, this is what he says. He says, watch the film, though. He's not being double teamed a lot of the time. Stetson just can't get him the ball. How come these other great receivers in the league are still getting theirs? They have QBs. Okay. So he asked me the first part. That's the first part. So that's the first part of why he's not getting thrown the ball a lot, is because when there are opportunities to throw him the ball, he's double teamed, right? So when you've got a guy like George Pickens, is George Pickens a 5 and out, catch the ball, drop out of bounds, 7 and out, turn, hitch route, whatever you want to call it? Is that George Pickens style? No. Running backs can do that. George Pickens is a deep threat
or a tight end. They can do that.
Yeah. He's a deep threat where you take the top off of the defense. And if you've got a quarterback who has to rainbow it, you got to throw a rainbow to get it 35 yards down the field, that's not going to take the top off of very many SEC teams. If you'll notice, the only time really that that Stetson Bennett throws it deep, it's whenever there's
basically the same guys, though, when you think about it.
They really are. They're basically the only time he throws the deep ball is whenever the guy's wide open, is a busted coverage. He did it to Karius Jackson. Karius Jackson ran 40 yards down the field. Yeah, it looked good. but that was just busted coverage.
Coverage, right?
Anybody can do that. I can do that.
Oh man!
And I have watched several times, and Ninja Turtle, if you'll go back and watch the tape, watch the film, sir, you will find that many times when Stetson Bennett tries to throw the ball downfield, and which I'm agreeing with you, by the way, Ninja Turtle, that the receiver has to stop and come back and catch the ball. Happened in the very first game against Arkansas. Kyrus Jackson runs down the field, turns around, and is looking for the ball. Right. And you see that light bulb go off like, oh, I outran it. And then he turns around and comes back about 6 steps.
No, you didn't outrun it. He just didn't throw it. He just didn't throw it properly. Like, you didn't outrun it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, he didn't throw it right. Listen, when you see Stetson Bennett throw that ball 46.5 yards, I want you to know that's as far as he can throw it.
This man said 46.5 yards. Like, what the hell, big dog? What is that? 40, what we're working with at Georgia now?
If you 47 yards, yeah, it ain't gonna get there.
It might be a pick. Oh, man.
He's the first quarterback at Georgia that can punt a ball further than he can throw it.
Okay, so let me ask you the big question, just the tough question. How does the Georgia fan base, or you or anyone associated with Georgia, how do you feel about the mismanagement of Justin Fields? I know that's a tough question, but is that even a deal now, or
yes. How
do you feel about that?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah,
I think the way I feel is much different than the way most Georgia fans feel. I honestly, I made a video, and I said in the video when Justin Fields left, I'm fine with it. Because at that time, from what I had seen out of Justin Fields, when you put him on the field and you actually let him run the offense, he looked like a deer in the headlights. He looked confused. He made bad throws, made bad decisions. He did not look good. Now, that is part of being a freshman in the SEC. That's part of it. It's part of it.
Right.
And I also went on to say that Justin Fields needed to leave Georgia and go to a school that could develop his talent.
Okay.
Georgia cannot do that. And you can go back and find the video. All you got to do is type in Big Dog Brett, Justin Fields, and you'll find it. It's one of my most watched videos. And there are so many comments in the comment section. I'm like, guys, did you even listen to everything I said? Because you're missing. You're saying what I said, and you're yelling at me for it.
Well, the thing is, a lot of times those guys, what I get from my channel is they go straight to the comment section. They don't listen to nothing. They go straight to the comment section. They start blasting. They start assuming what they thought you were going to say, and start blasting you in the comment section. So that's what they do. But Justin Fields, just like you say, just looking at Georgia over the totality of at least the last 10 years, I do get where you would say a quarterback like Justin Fields probably doesn't fit Georgia's profile. And
and it's not that he doesn't fit our profile. The problem is that Georgia could not develop him into the talent that he clearly is.
Right.
If Connor Riley had Justin Fields, if Nick Saban had Justin Fields, I mean, if you look, and right now at Ohio State, he's killing it. If you'd have sent him to Clemson, right, Trevor Lawrence, he'd be killing it because those teams know how to develop quarterbacks. Georgia don't.
Right.
That we just don't.
And at least develop quarterbacks to accentuate the talent that they have versus the offensive line that they have, the wide receivers. And I would think it would be absolutely scary to have a situation with Justin Fields and Zamir White. Man, that would be absolutely incredible if you could get a good combination there with Zamir White, and then you have George Pickens, and you have Kyrus Jackson, and then you team Justin Fields up in there. That could give you the national championship that you haven't had since the early 80s. I mean, I don't know. I'm perplexed. Sometimes I'm not a Georgia fan, but I'm very close to the Georgia fan base. And things like this just perplex me, the opportunities that I think that Georgia missed from time to time.
Well, I mean, it was clearly a miss. But I guess the best way I can explain it is let's say that I got all these parts, right? I got all these parts that go to a motor, right? I know that this is one of the fastest motors on the planet if I could put it together. But I may also know I don't have the knowledge to put this motor together. So to me, it's just a chunk of metal.
Yeah.
But
sometimes
I don't
you
want
just don't know what you got.
Well, I think they knew what they had. I just don't think they could do anything with it. And I think that's why they had a conversation with Justin Fields. Go, hey, dude, we can't do anything with you, man. And he's like, you know what? I'm out. And he went to Ohio State. Ohio State clearly put in the work on him. Ohio State clearly did everything that they were supposed to do. This guy's pretty much broke every school record they have. And right now, I'm going to be honest with you. Having a year of experience under his belt, having played on a big stage against Clemson and lost, but played on the big stage nonetheless, gets a whole nother year, granted not a full schedule, but gets a whole nother year to continue to develop. I mean, I really think Ohio State is easily one of the top 3 in the country. So, I mean, and you can look at it however you want to look at it. You can round robin Ohio State, Clemson, or Alabama and put them in any order. And I don't think anybody could give you a legitimate argument as to why you're wrong.
Right. You know, I want to comment on Pastor Dave. He says Auburn can't develop quarterbacks either. Sheesh. You know, when you think about it, I mean, Pastor Dave, I don't know. You could be on to something, but I mean, Auburn has had their struggles with quarterbacks under the Gus Malzahn era. You talk about Nick Marshall from 2013 that actually, did well from 2013 going into 2014. And then you had the debacle between 2014 and 2016 with the Jeremy Johnsons, the Sean Whites, and all those guys. And then you get the Jarrett Stidham, who obviously didn't fit our system. Right. And now you have Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is starting. I think Chad Morris is starting to figure out how this kid can be effective. Is Bo Nix going to be a drop back passer that, throws for 30 to 40 times for 400 yards? No, you got to get him going in the RPO. And I think they're starting to figure that out. But yes, up to this point, Pastor Dave, you are absolutely right. Auburn has not shown the result that they can effectively develop the quarterback to their optimal level. So yeah, that's fair. I'm not going to talk shit on this channel and say that we're doing an excellent job of developing quarterbacks, because we're not.
Ninja Turtle, thank you for the super chat, sir. He just said, just found out about you a few days ago. It seems like you do a great job, man. I'm 31 and I was born a UGA fan, and it's nice to have a couple UGA channels to talk Georgia football on. Keep it up, big dog.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to tell you something, man. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. All you Georgia fans out there, of course, I'm an Auburn fan. I'm an Auburn graduate, but I've been following Big Dog for a couple of years now. So if you're a Georgia fan out there and you are not a subscriber to Big Dog Brett, you're cheating yourself. Go ahead and join the channel, subscribe to the channel, and get it going so you can listen to me talk trash from time to time. But Big Dog knows exactly what he's talking about. So go ahead and subscribe to his channel.
I really appreciate that. One of the things that I try to do is I try to be as interactive with the viewers on my channel as I can be. I read every comment. I make sure I try to respond to everything, not just the ones that are talking smack. I try to respond to everybody. I want you guys to be engaged. I want you now, eventually when I'm, buying an island in the Bahamas or whatever, I might have a little difficulty responding to you guys for lack of Wi-Fi down there. But no, I really appreciate everybody in the channel. And I've said this for a long time. I appreciate all of the local, people, all the people all over the place. I've got one guy, he's overseas and he watches my show. I think his name is Not Just Rocks, but he's a Texas fan, and he's in the military. And I was in the military and appreciate his service. And so to me, I like to contribute so that you guys get something out of it. But it's the trolls, it's the viewers that really enjoy the show. It's other content creators like you that force me to want to better myself and force me to learn the information. What's going on, Pine Style Limited? What's up, Miguel? Give me just a second. I'll post a link and then you can join in. But I really didn't know near as much about college football I knew some stuff about regular, just football in general,
Yeah.
but college football, oh my goodness. If you'd asked me 3 years ago who Lane Kiffin was, I'd have had no clue. Mike Leach, I wouldn't have known. Sam
Right.
Pittman, no clue. Dan
What a
Mullen,
5-star
Will
recruit
Muschamp,
was.
I call him Mason Dixon, but the coach for Vanderbilt.
Right.
If you'd asked me who Coach O was, I certainly would not have said "Go Tigers." I wouldn't have said that because I wouldn't have known who he was. I guess now what I'm supposed to say is "Go Tigers."
Yeah,
No,
man.
but,
like I said before, Big Dog, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you here because I know you got some other guys that you want to talk to. But even when I was starting my channel, it was guys like you, guys like Mark Rogers, guys like who's a crazy guy? Damn, I can't think of his name right now.
Lou.
Oh yeah, guys like Uncle Lou that really inspired me to do this, and I definitely appreciate all you guys for that. And good luck to Georgia this weekend as they take on Florida. I hope you guys keep the streak going, and it's going to be tough though. But if you all can, kind of figure the quarterback situation out, that'll be cool. But I know your defense is going to show up. So and for all the Auburn fans out there, War Eagle. And I'll say this reluctantly and out of respect for Big Dog Brett. How about them dogs and hunker down?
Hey, I appreciate it, Vernon. Thank you so much for joining the chat,
yes,
man.
Sir. Take care, man.
Anytime.
I'll see you maybe next week, man.
Yeah, feel free. Love to have you.
Oh, yeah. Take care, man.
Take care. Thanks, sir. All right, guys. That's Vernon Speaks Sports. If you get an opportunity, go over and check him out on his channel. He does a lot of college football. And I believe he does a little bit of NFL stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong. Electric Grid says, Big Dog Brett. ESPN, watch out. Brett coming. I don't think they're going to hire me, man. I do appreciate it, Michael Porter. Roll Tide, roll. I guess that's just for you there, Dwayne. You guys are great people. Really appreciate it. Let me go ahead and do the invite here. We'll get some of you guys in here if you want to. See if you guys want to jump in and join the show. All the members tonight, really appreciate you guys. Obviously, Dwayne Porter, Dwayne RTR, Michael Porter, Pastor Dave. You guys are staples here. Without you guys, this show just wouldn't be the same. So we really appreciate you guys being on here. Ridley overrated. Maybe so. The best quarterback developer is Lincoln Riley. There may be some truth to that, but I will say that he does tend to bring in experienced quarterbacks through the transfer portal. However, once he does turn them into superstars. Now, can he do that with a regular guy out of the gate? I don't know. I think it's more of him taking a Ferrari and putting all of the extra bells and whistles on the Ferrari. Never sell yourself short, sir. You never know how far you can go. Electric Grid, you are right. You're absolutely right. What's up, Stray Dog? I didn't say War Eagle. You're right. I'll leave that for Dan Mullen to say. Where's Crimson Brave and his trolling tonight? He was in here earlier, man. I don't know where he went. Hey, Miguel, I put out the if you're still here, sir, I put out the link a few minutes ago. You feel free to join the show if you like. All right, so in the meantime here, Dorito Bag. What's going on, man? I like that name. So let's go over the conference schedule here tomorrow. Goodness. Gotta make my hype and hate video. I'll probably do that tomorrow too. What is going on? There we go. All right. So tomorrow you've got number 11 Miami at NC State at 7:30. I believe that is in Raleigh. If you guys want to catch that, it'll be on ESPN. I'm going to take Miami in that game. Let's see here. Then we got number 9 BYU versus Boise State. I'm taking BYU. And here's a game that I think will be really interesting to watch. I think this game could come down to the wire. It's a noon game. Indiana at Michigan. That's going to be really, really interesting. I'm taking Indiana in that game. That quarterback they have there is phenomenal. I really like that guy. His name escapes me at the moment, but Spiller is the other guy that's been impressing me so far this season. Not for Indiana, but anyway. Texas at West Virginia. I would not be surprised if Texas loses this game. Really, really would not be surprised. Between the Trenches says, what nights do I do the call-in show? Usually only Thursdays. Ninja Turtle says, take NC State. I don't know, man. Make sure that you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And the reason you need to hit the bell is because I will randomly do a live show sometime Sunday night, sometime Monday night, sometime Tuesday or Wednesday nights, just whenever. I have nights where I do them at random times. Diggy Olmstead. That is another cool name. You guys always surprise me with the names. I can't wait to see Mullen react whenever we smack UF in the mouth. That is certainly something I would enjoy seeing. Salty Dog, what's going on, buddy? Today on the Paul Feinbaum Show, a Bama fan said he's pulling for Florida, for he does not want to have to play the Dogs again. Afraid the Dogs will get him the second time. Hey, what's going on, Sarah? Welcome back. We've missed you. Christy was in here earlier. She may yet still be here. Got me running in the background. Ready for some victory breakfast on Sunday. You know it, man. You know it. All right, let's see what else we got here. Liberty. Liberty's in the top 25. It's 2020. That's right. Number 16, Marshall versus UMass. Guys, clearly Marshall is going to spank that behind. We'll take them. And then there's a little game coming on CBS. Freaking hate Gary Danielson. I'll be so glad when the SEC contract with them is up. Sean Gomes says, so you're telling me we can't develop Vandergriff either? We should be able to develop Vandergriff because now we have Todd Monken. I would be highly surprised if Stetson, JT, Carson, DeJuan, and Vandergriff all stay at Georgia. That's just, I don't know how that's going to work out. Somebody's done filled out information for the transfer portal. Just like in an email, they're waiting to hit send. They'll do that shortly. I'm telling you, Brett, take the Irish. I'm not taking them, man. I'm not taking them. I'm taking Clemson. My daughter's a Clemson fan. Liberty and Vandy on the money line. I think one or both of them will hit. That's possible. Miguel says, Georgia has Rudy at QB. No, Rudy was taller. And besides, you can't get Stetson Bennett offsides. Georgia-Florida game, 8 o'clock. Georgia-Florida game, 3:30. You guys can wait and watch the prediction video for that. Hate and height and hate and trash talk. Cincinnati and Houston, taking Cincinnati. I'm just legitimately scared Vandergriff decommits. Why? Vandergriff can clearly look at what's here and go, I can outplay all those guys. You watched him play? Put up 73 points in a high school game, like 73-3 or something. Ridiculous. Clemson's a good school. I got some friends of mine that are Clemson fans. Oklahoma versus Kansas. Go Dogs. Sick 'em. Woof, 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 woof. So one of the things that get you guys' opinions on this, because it's just an idea. I never use random ideas that run through my head all the time. I'm thinking about doing a but will he get to play is the question. Probably. Because I just really think he will. I'm thinking about doing a private broadcast, live stream of the game. You probably won't be able to actually see the screen, but if it's a private broadcast, you may be able to see the screen, but it would definitely be a members only thing because I would have to pay extra to be able to do that. And rather than have you guys listen to Gary Danielson and Joe Schmo smack talk both teams on the field, I would commentate the game. Would you like to borrow our offense for Florida? Yeah, you said that earlier, and yes, I still would. I don't know. Given an entire offseason, this season's been so weird. I think that with the lack of preparation that Georgia had at the quarterback position, we put a lot of work into having Jamie Newman take that position, and when he dipped out, it really left us kind of scrambling. So I think that's what happened. All right, let's jump down here. Oklahoma playing Kansas State. Oklahoma. Penn State versus Maryland. Even though neither one of these are ranked, I don't know what it is about Maryland. I just like that team. I mean, such a weird name, the Terrapins. It's like the Maryland Turtles. I mean, I think these guys could win this game. I really do. They put up 45 points. They put up 45 points against Minnesota. Their initial game, they lost 43-3. The next game, they come out 45-44, and then they got to play Penn State. Yeah. I mean, you turn around, you look at you turn around, you look at Penn State. Penn State played against Indiana and lost by 1 point. They played OSU and they lost by 13 points. They haven't scored over 35 points in either game. I think Maryland could win this game. Now they probably because I picked them, they'll probably lose because that's just the way my luck goes. Ninja Turtle says, I just like Maryland because I feel like they're named after a brewery here in Athens. Yeah, that's possible. Dave Mendoza said you would be a great commentator. You sound like Kirk Herbstreit. God, I hope I'm smarter than him. Between the Trenches says, give me one reason why we haven't tried JT. Someone explain, or why DeJuan hasn't got another chance, or even Carson. No one can give a legit reason why. I'll give you a reason for all three. Are you ready? And Kirby Smart. That is a legitimate reason, sir. I didn't say you would like it, but that is a legitimate reason. The reason DeJuan is not playing is because DeJuan doesn't have near as much experience as Stetson. Now, Stetson doesn't have a ton. But whenever Stetson came in and showed out during the Arkansas game and continued to run well, continued to do a good job through the season, and even he actually played fairly well in the Alabama game, considering that we put 21 points on Alabama and we didn't expect to do much. But the reason DeJuan's not playing is because he's not an experienced game manager. He doesn't have as much experience as Stetson. Kirby Smart wants a game manager. It's what he wants. If you listen to his press conferences, he has said as much. He wants a quarterback that can look at what the defense is going to give him and check him into the right place. He's not interested in big, overpowering arms. He wants his defense to do the work. That's why in every press conference you listen to him after a game, he talks about how good the quarterback was and how bad the defense needs to improve every time, because that's his mindset. Now, if you want to know why JT hasn't played, I don't believe JT was as healthy as they were making him out to be. I think JT was probably still very ginger on that knee. He wants to have a pro career. That's why he's done all the things he's done. He's had the surgeries he's had. I don't think he is ready to play just yet. That's why he hasn't seen the field at all. Now, as far as Carson Beck, I think it's one of those things where Georgia doesn't want to take an opportunity to put in a quarterback like that and make a mistake. That's why. The reason JT is only working with the scout team is, I believe, is because those guys move at a much slower speed and he's not healed up yet. What are you talking about, Sarah? The fold-out one was mind-blowing. What are you talking? Did I miss something? Oh, talking to Dwayne. What's up, James? Miguel says he's a Florida fan. Stetson has a ton of experience. I mean, the guy went to JUCO and learned how to throw every type of interception he can throw. That's pretty good. What's up, Morgan Reese? Why can't we put other guys in at least at the end of games when we are winning by a couple of scores? I really think the reason behind that is because if you look, you'll probably see that after this game. You will probably see a lot of that after this game. But the two biggest games on Georgia's schedule was Florida and Alabama. So now you've got the Alabama game's already gone by. And now you've got the Florida game. So up until the Florida game, Kirby Smart is going to have wanted Stetson Bennett to have as many snaps, every single snap he can give him, to try and get him prepared to seal the deal on this game. While it would have been nice to beat Alabama, that was not the critical linchpin. Florida was and still is. So that's why you saw him play and have seen him play as much as he has played, in my opinion. The Shadow Assassin says, so JT hasn't played a year, Mathis hasn't, but Bennett played JUCO and is having problems. How does that make sense? Like I said, it's one of those things where you have to really understand what Kirby Smart is trying to do. And then once you get through that, I think you're fine. Miguel says, have you seen a Mark Richt versus Kirby comparison through 60 games? And they're literally the same. While they may literally be the same, the mindset of the two coaches is very different. The recruiting is very different. And the level of the games we have played in is very different. So, yeah, we may have won the same number of games, but if you go back and you look at the games we lost versus the games we won, you'll find that we lost games to teams we never should have lost by a landslide. We got beat one time like 51-17 by Alabama in Athens, and we were favored to win that game by 7 points. We got absolutely embarrassed, blown out, and humiliated. Oh, yeah. Well, dude, I get asked that question all the time. I'm just a passionate person. That's why I respond like that. I wonder how the Bulldogs played Alabama in the championship. We played them tight, but we lost on a busted coverage. We lost it on one play. I don't think Mark Richt has ever coached a team of that caliber. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people try to rip on Kirby with that. A lot of what we call Disney dogs. Now, while I got you guys on the channel here, I want to go ahead and point something out. Well, let me finish up this list here real quick. I want to see the Florida State-Pittsburgh game just because I want to see Pitt beat the crap out of Florida State. Texas A&M versus South Carolina. I think that game could be interesting. Iowa State versus Baylor. Iowa State wins that game. And then the Notre Dame at Clemson game. I'm taking Clemson. I don't care what you guys say. I have said it for years, and I'll continue to say it. Notre Dame is overrated. Every time they play a really good team, they get destroyed. And you can look for the same to happen here. I think Clemson's going to be looking to step on their neck and absolutely bury them, get rid of this whole whatever you want to call it, with the ACC being in the conference, being out of the conference, whatever. I think Clemson wins by 14 points or more. Yeah. I remember the first time I saw Andy Dufresne. Looked like a stiff breeze could blow him over. That's what I thought of the man then. For 40 years, I've been asking for a national championship. I can't die until I get one. I knew Mac would be productive, but who thought he would be a Heisman frontrunner? I did. Go back and watch my video of where I said in the in my preseason analysis of Mac Jones, that he was going to be just as good as Tua. His numbers were just as good as Tua's, considering how much he had played. He's like, SEC Dog says, watch how fast no one will be talking about Kyle Trask, the great, after this Saturday. So does anybody want to jump in the show and have a conversation with me about what Georgia's got to do to win versus what I know Trevor's not playing. I'm not worried about that. Why can't Georgia play Vandy? I want to talk about what Georgia's got to do to win and what Florida's got to do to win. Does anybody want to jump in on that? I'm running out of coffee. Oh, here comes Miguel. Let's see what we got. That is a wonderful ceiling fan, sir.
Appreciate it. I just want to talk about the Florida-Georgia game.
All right, man. Fire away.
My bad. I was in the bed. But here's my thing about it all. Great offenses, as you can see, we have this year. They're going to score. Like the LSU Georgia game last year, I thought y'all was pretty even, but LSU had a great offense.
Correct.
See what I'm saying? And they ran up the numbers on y'all, which I'm not saying we're going to just run y'all over and everything, but yeah, that's oh shit. It's the great in the back. The Tebow.
I like Tebow.
Yeah, I did too. He owned Georgia 4-0.
He sure did. So did Jake Fromm.
Yeah,
on
just
Florida, 3-0.
Yeah. But yeah, our defense really isn't as good as it has been. It's usually the opposite. Like, they're the ones keeping us in the game.
Right.
Honestly, I don't think we'll be a championship caliber team until Dan Mullen has the balls to cut Grantham. I just see that as the huge problem, honestly, because he's just not good, man. Like, he had a good year at Louisville, but they had Lamar Jackson. Like,
here's the thing about Todd Grantham, right? So Todd Grantham was a coach at UGA, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
And this is where I'm going to rip on Dan Mullen a little bit, but I'm not ripping on Dan Mullen because I don't like Dan Mullen. I don't like Dan Mullen.
Hold on. A lot of people don't like Dan Mullen.
But I didn't hire. I'm of the mindset. I didn't hire a guy to like him. I hired a guy to do a job, right? When it comes to my coach, if you've ever played football or if you've ever been in a locker room and you see a coach get up in some dude's face, it ain't personal. It's just business.
It's over right there.
So coach gets up there, wows out, and then gets back to the game. That's like, all right. And then you make a good play, comes over, patches on the back. Great job, man. I knew you could do that. Attaboy, right? But Dan Mullen made a bad hire. And anytime I see a bad hire, I usually point it out. Now, if you go back and you look at LSU, whenever they hired Bo Pelini, within minutes of me finding out that they hired Bo Pelini, I made a video telling them, that is a bad hire. Do not hire that guy.
Yeah.
Well, by the time I could get to the point where I could make my Todd Grantham video, there was already like 50 people made a video, and I'm like, you know what? I just don't have the energy to deal with all the trolls on this one. People are going to jump up and down talking about how good he is, and I got to make a follow-up video telling them that they was wrong, I was right, and people's going to disappear. That's how it happens. But answer me this, Dan Mullen. If Georgia, because there's only two teams in the East that's worth talking about, and that's Georgia and Florida. Nobody else is worth talking about. There's really normally only two teams in the West that's worth talking about, and that's normally Auburn and Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
But in the East, if your main competition said, this guy ain't good enough to keep, why would you hire him? They should have known just by the fact that Georgia fired him, they should not have hired him.
I think at the time, my memory ain't up to date of that time of defensive coordinators available, but I think that was the number one option at the time.
No, anybody take an assistant coach and bump him up. I'm telling you, this guy.
I like C-Rob, Christian Robinson.
Yep.
I think that'll be a good step up. But like I said, Mullins got to. The only cut Mullins made is damn Manny Diaz, and he just got to cut Mullins. I meant, my bad, Grantham. Mullins got to cut Grantham if we're gonna be a championship caliber. We got the recruits in, and I feel like we have edge rusher guys playing tackle and like nose, and it's just like.
Are you concerned at all about the size of your defensive line?
Yes, very. We don't really have. We have a true freshman, Jervon, whatever, Dexter. He's a big boy. We got a senior that came back last week. What's his name? I think he's like 56. He came back. Between the trenches, the guy that ripped me.
How's it going, Miguel?
Trench is a good dude, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah. But I think if we can make good third down plays on defense, and we have to score on every drive. We
well, you know that ain't. I mean, I'm not trying to be a Georgia homer here.
Yeah, I got you. I gotta.
But even Alabama didn't score on every drive against Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, just to be fair. And there's nobody that watches college football except for maybe those of the Florida fan base that think their offense is as good as Alabama's.
They're up there.
They're good.
Yeah,
they're good.
They're there, but
another thing people
good,
are talking about, man, is I live probably 20 minutes away from Jacksonville, and it's supposed to storm Saturday. And if that happens, how well can y'all run the ball is the question.
The question's not how well can you run the ball. The question is how well are you not going to be able to throw the ball?
Yeah.
Because we know Georgia can run.
Yeah, but look at the Kentucky game. Y'all drove down them, my bad. And then they stacked the box, and it was 14-3. Now, we don't have the best defense, but I think one of y'all's top guys in receiving is a running back. So, I mean, if we can stack the box and contain, which we know Pickens probably going to be double teamed, Pitt's probably going to be double teamed, but there's other guys on the field. So if it rains, it'll definitely get interesting. But
it could definitely come down to, Kadarius Toney versus Kearse, who's going to get the most yards.
Yeah.
So let me bring up now. Kadarius Toney is probably, in my opinion, the best player on the entire roster for Florida. I know people are going to say Kyle, the Kyle sisters. I get it. Not interested. We've dealt with similar. We've dealt with similar problems before. Back when you had Grimes and Pitts, we had to deal with that, and we did. So I'm not concerned about that. That's nothing we haven't faced before. But a guy like Kadarius Toney, hey, that guy can play. So you got to find an answer for that guy. I mean, what
another stat coming into this game is the Dogs haven't allowed any touchdowns from tight ends this year. I saw it on Twitter. I don't know if it's credible, but
typically when you see something like that's put out there on Twitter, if it's wrong, that person will be immediately ratioed.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember correctly, but it wasn't like some bum that said it. Like, I mean, I feel like it was legit, but I mean.
So let me ask you a question here. And I'm just trying to be fair because I want to be fair.
Yeah.
You guys played Ole Miss, right? Ole Miss, it was 51-35.
Yeah.
First game of the season. I discount that game for every team in the whole SEC because those games were so proportionally different to everybody they had played that it just didn't make sense to take that into consideration. So congratulations, it's a win, but everybody's stuff was wildly different from what they normally stats would be. You guys played South Carolina, and you allowed 24 points from South Carolina. South Carolina essentially doesn't have a defense. You guys scored 38. Texas A&M, you guys kind of got into a track meet. You guys lost that game, but you only lost it by 3. You scored 38 points. You guys played against Missouri. Missouri has no defense. You guys scored 41 points. They only scored 17. Now, for me, when I go back and I look at the Ole Miss versus Alabama game, right? Ole Miss was right there with them. Almost won that game till like the fourth quarter. The difference is that these teams, I said whenever Ole Miss was playing against Alabama, I was like, that's not an Alabama defense. That is their one-off. And I believe that is what happened with the Georgia-Kentucky game for our offense. I believe that was our one-off for the offense. I believe the offense is going to come right back. Now, if you take into consideration that we threw – well, how many interceptions did we throw against Alabama? 3? I believe it was 3. We threw 3 interceptions in the Alabama game, right? So we threw 3 against them and still scored 21 points. Think about that. That ought to scare the hell out of you. To have a team that can throw 3 interceptions and still put 21 points on Alabama.
How many of those? Well, the first interception was it was just the small throwing window from Bennett, but the others he scrambled in the second half when it was basically over. And when was the third one?
The third one was late in the game.
Later than when he scrambled and just threw it right from him?
There were two that were tipped.
Oh, okay.
There were two that were batted down or tipped, however you want to say it. But what I'm saying is regardless of how the interception happened, that is a turnover. That takes the offense off the field. That puts their offense on the field, and they scored on all 3 of those drives.
Yeah.
If you take those away, just to be fair, you take 21 points off the board for Alabama, what's the score?
Shit, y'all win.
It's close, ain't it? It's 20.
Yeah.
It's 24 to 21 or 23 to 21 at that point. That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
So when I look at that and I say, that's a Georgia team that if we would have hung on to the damn ball, we'd have been in it right there at the end. But it is a proven fact in college football, when you turn the ball over, there is an 80% chance that team is going to score on that drive. It's 80%. And we did it 3 times, and we still scored 21 points. If we'd have scored on any one of those drives, would have been 28 points.
We also
I'm not saying
that 20% ratio too.
What's that?
You got to think. I said we also successfully hit that 20% ratio too because we got the interception, drove down the field, threw an interception.
Right. So we had a lot of things that stacked up bad against us. During the Kentucky game, I don't know if Georgia was looking past them.
Yeah.
I don't know if Georgia didn't prepare properly. I do know we have some dinged up players, but that's every team. So I look at it this way. Stetson Bennett is catching a lot of flack about how he's playing. And I'm going to tell you right now, he's doing better. He's doing better than Jake Fromm did. Yeah, he's throwing more interceptions. But guess what? I will take more interceptions if we can put more points on the board. If our defense is averaging like 10 points a game, I don't care about interceptions that much as long as we still win the game. So do I expect – when I watched Jake Fromm roll out there, I did not expect an interception. When I'm playing with Bennett, I expect an interception, and I'm going to plan accordingly. I think that's just the way you have to play this game.
But you can't go just off the Kentucky game, Miguel, because if you do that, let me ask you this. Could y'all beat Clemson right now?
Well, right now.
So Clemson had a bad game last week, so y'all should be fine.
Yeah, but they have DJ.
That's what it is. They have DJ, but DJ I still think could beat Georgia or Florida this week, any week.
Yeah, I'm not
with that team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going strictly off the Kentucky game. I'm just saying how like y'all's run game is a big part of y'all's offense, and they stack the box and stop.
They did.
Yeah, that's all.
But what I was saying earlier was if it gets rained as bad as it's supposed to happen, which obviously is going to bring down the passing game for both teams. If that happens, who do you think is going to get more yards on the ground?
Oh, Georgia easily.
So
that's what I was saying earlier with the Rams.
We're more of an air raid. Like, I'm not saying we're as good as Joey and Coach O on offense last year, but we're more like an LSU type. If we have to hit the rock off, we will, but we're mostly an air raid.
But what made the LSU so dangerous is they had the defense to back it up as well.
Yeah. Well,
that's where the biggest question comes in this whole game.
I'm not saying Missouri is just damn good on offense, but I think the whole Corona thing and the off break and after the A&M game, like we kind of got right on defense. Like we wasn't going off names. Like Marco Wilson was probably our biggest preseason, like, how do I say this? Like his draft stock or whatever. He was like, Marco Wilson is the guy, and he's not the guy at all. I think we went off names going into the season, but we got a bunch of young cats that are pretty good that are having to step up on defense. And, come in there and play smash mouth football. I think we got a good chance. I don't think either way it's going to be a blowout. But if it rains.
Oh, no, it's not going to be a blowout.
No, it's going to be a dogfight, definitely. But
I think that there's definitely one of the things we really haven't talked about that we really need to throw into the mix is that there's a lot, and this is not to rip on Florida. That's not what I'm trying to do here. There's a lot of players on that Florida team that have never beat Georgia. And that has to sit there in your mind. It has to sit there in your mind. So if you've got all of these players, and I mean, I can tell you right now, I experienced it every time we play Alabama.
Yeah, I was about to say.
If there's a team that every time you play them and you feel like, man, we got a good team, we are definitely in this fight, and then you lose. And it happens, and you lose every time you do that. And you're like, man, I don't know how much more of this I can put up with. I think that has to exist at least for some of these players. I mean, we all like to think that the coach gets in there and talks them up and they're going to play a great football game and whatnot. And then you get out there, and that first time they get that real punch in the gut, that fear starts to sink in. Like, I have seen this show before. I know because I do it sitting on the couch whenever Alabama scores.
Oh, yeah. So, Alabama going into the third quarter, as soon as kickoff happens, I'm like, that feeling comes right in.
Yeah. Go watch my halftime report. I told everybody, I was like, Georgia winning at a half. I was like, I ain't excited. I've seen this show before. I know how it ends.
Many times.
Yep. And so I think there's some of that. I also think that there's a lot of pressure on these guys. And the question is, and I got to be honest, how does Florida and a lot of these young players really play under that kind of pressure? That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And this will be the first time a lot of them have really seen that kind of, because it's either win this game, or your season's over. Georgia's done that several times and won.
There's more pressure on Florida.
What's that?
There's definitely more pressure on Florida in this game.
Yeah.
Because let's say y'all don't beat Georgia.
That's it.
Y'all gonna beat Georgia when y'all have Kyle Pitts, Kyle Trask. We're stuck with Stetson Bennett and a beat up defense. The fan base is going to look at Dan Mullen and go, well, then when can we beat them?
That's right.
So the pressure is definitely on Florida in this game.
Yeah.
It's one thing to go out and play with confidence because you're playing from a position of power. But when you're playing from a position of desperation and necessity, you often see quarterbacks and even experienced head coaches get a little too cavalier and start making mistakes. And when you're playing against a defense like Georgia, I'm not sure that you can afford very many mistakes. Now, if Stetson Bennett throws an interception, I have confidence that our defense can probably do a pretty good job against Florida of recovering from it, at least once or twice. I'm not sure that Kyle Trask, if he throws more than one interception against Georgia, that Florida's going to be able to recover from that. Georgia's defense is just too strong. Now, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, especially when I talk about the Alabama games, but to me, I think that it is going to start out with, and it doesn't matter which team scores. Whichever team scores, the other team, whichever one can maintain composure. If Georgia goes out and scores and Florida tries to get wild, Georgia's going to walk away with that game. If Florida goes out and scores and Georgia tries to get into this hurry up, play up, catch up game with Stetson Bennett, it's going to get away from them. I think that's the way this game is going to go. Georgia's going to run the ball and grind clock. They're going to they're going to do all they can to keep the ball out of Kyle Trask and Kyle and Kyle's sister's hands, and they are going to make Florida beat them with the run game, and that's going to be really difficult. Anytime that Georgia has decided it's going to stop the run, it stopped it. I mean, unless you got a first-round draft pick like Najee Harris sitting in the backfield or Travis Etienne, not much you're going to be able to do. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah.
But if Florida comes out and makes Georgia beat them with Stetson, if Stetson's the reason we have to win this game, Florida's got it in the bag.
I disagree.
And it's nothing against Stetson. We don't play the catch-up game on offense. That's what I'm saying. If they come out there and put 14 on Georgia, and Georgia has to play the same catch-up we did against Alabama, and we have to do it through the air, I think we're going to have problems.
I think that Georgia was out-talented and out-coached at Alabama. I don't think Georgia will be out-talented playing against Florida. I think the talent level, at least on most parts of the field, is either a little bit better or the same. And I certainly don't think that Dan Mullen is a better coach than Kirby Smart. And I can point at the record and say that's why I think that. That's not me being a Georgia homer. This is a team you never beat. That would be like me saying Kirby Smart is a better coach than Nick Saban. Kirby Smart's never beat Nick Saban. So how can you say that? And I feel like that's the same thing we're looking at with Dan Mullen and Kirby Smart. Now, last year, every year that Georgia has played Florida, give Florida credit. Florida has improved the score. It has gotten closer. But I don't feel like Dan Mullen is a good enough offensive coach to outcoach the defensive mind of Kirby Smart. At least he hadn't proved it yet. And Georgia beat Florida with less talent than they have right now. Jim Chaney, our worst offensive coordinator that Georgia has had in probably, what would you say, Trenches, 15 years? Last year with James Coley, worst offensive coordinator we've had in probably 15 years, and we still beat Florida. Now we've got Todd Monken, and if you want to take a minute and go look at his stats, be my guest. The guy is incredible. He in one year, he had a 4,000-yard passer and 2 1,000-yard rushers on the same team. That guy's a mastermind. Now, will Kirby Smart get out of the way and let him do that? I don't know. But what I will tell you is that Georgia's got a stable of running backs. We have Zamir White. We have Kendall Milton. We have McIntosh, who's back. And we have James Cook. We're not going to get tired at the running back position. It ain't going to happen. We're just going to keep running that ball at you all night.
Yeah, if we come out on defense looking like we did against A&M, which I'm sure the running back room, like, they're ready. They're gonna break out, obviously. Like, it's bound to happen. But if we come out and tackle and wrap up, I think that's the biggest thing with us, like this arm tackling shit, then I think we'll be all right. But if they don't tackle Zamir White,
I think that Ole Miss doesn't have a defense. I think that South Carolina doesn't have a defense. I think Texas A&M doesn't have a defense. And I think out of all of those, I know Missouri doesn't have a defense. And I think out of all of those, South Carolina probably has the best defense. And they played you guys in Gainesville. And it was pretty decent. The score was pretty close there for a while, unless I'm mistaken. All of these teams tried to get into a track meet with you guys because they have no defense. And that is not going to be the case against Georgia.
No, they're going to try to slow the game down.
Georgia's not. I put it to you this way. Georgia, even if we go 3 and out, even if Georgia goes 3 and out, they're going to take 2 to 3 minutes off the clock every time we have the ball. And there is no way that Florida's going to score every time they go out there. So if you look at somehow Florida gets a 3 and out. If Georgia sustains a drive, do you know how much time Georgia takes off the clock with one sustained drive on average?
Easily 7 minutes.
5 to 7 minutes every time we have the ball. That's a lot of clock. That's a half a quarter every time we get the ball. That means if we split possessions, you'll have 4 possessions the whole game. That's what that means. So if you don't score every time, even if you score every time, if Georgia scores every time and you score every time, you're going to be looking at about 28 points total for Florida. That's going to be half of what they're used to, or a little over half of what they're used to. And Georgia is going to, if they put up their 30 points or 34 points, 35 points, that's a win. If Georgia comes out and stops Florida once or twice, that's all it really takes. That's how Kirby Smart looks at the game. Kirby Smart doesn't look at the game of trying to get out there in a track meet. The only time Georgia has ever won a track meet was whenever we played against Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl. And it was because Oklahoma had the worst defense we'd ever seen.
And we also had Chubb and Sony.
And we had Chubb. We had 2 in it. We had 2 first-round drafts at running back position.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
Do you know what the crowd's going to be like? Is it?
I think they said 19,000.
I think, yeah, I was going to say 19 or 20,000, yeah.
19,000. I'm like 20 minutes away from the stadium. I think it's 19,000. If you show up without a ticket to tailgate, you will be police escorted off the premises.
That is correct. And they're not allowing people to even park. But was it 2 or 3 hours before the game? Can't even park.
They've actually, when I drove by it the other day, they actually have tons of stuff covering RC City or RV City, so you can't even go near it.
Yeah. So crowd noise is not going to be an issue. I mean, they're obviously going to pump in noise, but I'm going to tell you right now.
It's great for Florida.
What's that?
They even play half the stadium. It's great for Florida.
Yeah.
When half the stadium gets full, Mullen can't deal with it.
No. My thing is this: is that you've got two head coaches that are good head coaches. You've got a team at Georgia where I think last time I checked and last time I counted, there's something like 25 or 26 5-star players on UGA's offense. And there's 60, like I want to say it's 48 or 52 4-stars and like 13 3-stars, something like that. That is a lot of talent. People keep overlooking that. And Florida's recruiting is getting better, but is it there yet? I don't know that it is. And whenever you're talking about a game, especially in wet conditions, you really limit the amount of weapons that Florida has. If you're an air raid offense, the last thing you want to see is rain.
Yeah.
That's the last thing you want to see. Rain and wind.
No matter who wins this game, it's clear showing by the recruiting trails. Everyone, Georgia's maintaining top, Florida's going up. This is still going to be the SEC factor in the East, at least, for a long time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I've told numerous.
You think there's going to be another team, Miguel?
I think Pruitt is on the rise. If he gets,
but they're not recruiting well.
Yeah, but Pruitt, I don't know. I feel like they're on the come up. I'm not for the Vols or anything, but they have.
I love them, man. Jeremy Pruitt's one of my favorite coaches. He gives us a win every year.
I'm gonna
like a bye week for Georgia. I love it.
I'm going to tell you like this: Jeremy Pruitt is going to be every year an 8-5.
Well. The bad thing about the Tennessee job is that you're judged on
330, Sarah Crane.
You're judged on Florida.
Yep.
Florida and Alabama.
Yep.
You go 0-3 versus them, you're a bad coach.
The problem is, though, who else did they lose to this year?
Exactly. Well,
here's the thing. They don't have enough money right now to fire a coach.
Oh yeah,
because they're still paying like the past 7 or 8 baby daddies they've had up there.
No, that nobody wants the job.
Nobody wants that job. And I'm going to tell you from personal experience, Jeremy Pruitt rubs people the wrong way. He is never going to. He's never going to be able to recruit a number one class. He doesn't have the championship rings on his fingers. Kirby Smart does. Nick Saban does. Scott Cochran does. Those guys do. Dan Mullen doesn't. So you tell me, Nick Saban, let's take Nick Saban off the table. If Kirby Smart walks into your locker room, Dan Mullen walks into your locker room, and Jeremy Pruitt walks into your locker room, and all three of them offer you a job, and you look over there and you see Kirby Smart wrapping his fingers on the table, and every time he puts his finger down, it goes. And he can tap those 5 or 6 championship rings on the table.
Those what?
Championship rings.
Am I a 5-star dual threat quarterback? Because I'm not going with Kirby.
Don't ask stupid questions.
It depends. I'm a top-notch.
Listen. Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you exactly why 5-star quarterbacks come to UGA.
To transfer.
That is exactly correct. All right, you guys. I'm gonna let you guys chit chat a second. I gotta go check on something. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
All right. Yeah, trust me, man. It's the Fields thing still hurts.
Yeah, I don't understand.
There's no way we didn't see how good he was in practice. There's no way.
You watch Uncle Lou a lot, not a Georgia guy.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty funny. He said you can't trust Kirby with quarterbacks.
No, not at all. I mean, like I said, right now you got, a total of 14 stars if you add them all up sitting on the bench. But we got a walk-on starting. It makes no sense at all. And I know Brett was saying it's all about who has the most experience, but at the same time, when is it not like Dabo Swinney went on, takes his team to the playoffs, and then out of nowhere brings in a 5-star Trevor Lawrence with 0 experience. Why can't we do the same?
And in my opinion, I think Fields should have went to Clemson, and Lawrence should have went to Georgia.
Oh, you talking about before they even got recruited?
Yeah. Before all that, I think that should have been flip-flopped.
I take that in a heartbeat. Trust me, man. Go ahead.
Hold on one second here. Let me scroll up here. Arkansas Austin says, Big Dog Brett, I love your show, brother. What's y'all's prediction for the Arkansas versus Tennessee game?
I got Arkansas. Sam Pittman.
I would
Arkansas by 7.
I would have to concur. I think Arkansas's defense is coming along. I think Garantano struggles mightily, and I think Arkansas's got a good shot at winning that game. But if I had to pick somebody, I would pick Arkansas by. This is my son. I would pick Arkansas by 3. I think it'll be a close game. Arkansas. Tennessee does tend to fall apart after they've lost a few games in the season. What's up, Mr. Bombi? Hola.
I feel like that since
one more time, Miguel. I'm sorry.
Since we've seen that Arkansas isn't Arkansas this year, and Mathis came out pretty bad. I said it in the chat, but I don't think you saw it. He was talking to the Auburn guy. I feel like Mathis should get another chance because Arkansas isn't what we thought they would be this year. I mean, y'all were big on him after, and then you just bench him.
It's 5 series. Makes no sense.
I don't feel like Kirby is gonna. Oh, Stetson's doing bad. Bench him. He's gonna keep on with Stetson until the train comes off the tracks. I feel like, anyways, because after he comes out and says, which y'all did play Alabama, but Kentucky, and he comes out this week and says Stetson gives us the best chance to win.
Well, I mean, let's if we're gonna dice up coach speak here, then let's dice up coach speak. If you're a coach and this is the quarterbacks you have to contend with. You got a quarterback who may or may not be worth putting in a game because you haven't seen him play in a live game. And I'll let you take a pick on whether I'm talking about Carson Beck or JT Daniels because it applies to both. So you can't really throw those in a game.
Wait, no. You meant Dewan. You meant Dewan and Carson.
No, JT Daniels has not played in a game.
JT Daniels
played at USC.
Yes, he has a USC.
Not at Georgia.
Right, but we've seen him with college experience is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The last time that JT Daniels played, it was in the second quarter of the very first game. He was 23 for 25. He'd already thrown for like 300 and something yards. He'd had 1 interception and 2 touchdowns. Pretty familiar with JT Daniels. He also had over 12,000 yards in high school passing. But, we have not seen him play a snap this year. We have not seen him play yeah.
When it came to the Alabama game, you have a quarterback in Stetson who has thrown 3 picks. It's fourth quarter. The game is over. Why not put another guy in to get some experience and see what they can do?
Well, it kind of works like this. Would you put in a quarterback that you know is going to get destroyed when he's never played in a live game? You're going to embarrass this. No, that's against Arkansas. We'll get to that in a minute. But there is no reason whatsoever, none, to put in a true freshman against Alabama just to let him get eaten alive and make him look bad, destroy his self-esteem, destroy his confidence, have his teammates around him look at him and go, yeah, he's really not that good. You don't want to do that to a brand new guy. It's like putting in a rookie pitcher against Murderers Row. It's just going to be bad. And you know it's going to be bad. What about with Auburn now? Why? We didn't need to. So you have to look at this. Hold on.
Get a guy in.
Hold on.
Y'all did it with Fields.
Stop. We ain't talking about Fields. I'm done talking about Fields. That was a colossal screw up. What I'm talking about is what we have now, right?
Right.
And so let me jump back to Fields real quick. Fields, 5-star quarterback, awesome guy, no doubt about it. But you have to look at the fact that the year before, Jake Fromm had already played on a national stage, had already done a whole bunch of big stuff. And then you're going to talk about benching that guy for a 5-star quarterback that every time you put him in looks bad. That's a coach is not going to play that guy. He's going to have to transfer and another guy's going to play him. Was it wrong in the long run? Hindsight 2020? Yes. But right now, with what you're looking at, you have to say, okay, if I'm Kirby Smart and I'm looking at my schedule and I want you to pretend that you're Kirby Smart and I want you to circle a game on the calendar that you have to win. Tell me which one it is.
Circle a game we have to win?
You have to win this game. Circle it. Which one is it?
Florida.
For this year?
Yeah.
Florida. Every year.
Florida. Absolutely. Yeah. So why would you put in anybody at all other than the guy that you're trying to prep for that game?
You saying like a surprise factor?
I'm telling you, he's going to play Stetson Bennett the whole game unless it goes horribly wrong.
Do you think Stetson is the best quarterback we have right now?
Let me ask you a question and just be fair. I mean, let's change this guy's name to Jake Fromm.
I still wouldn't think he'd be the best on the team.
No. If you knew that right now you had Jake Fromm sitting out there, this is a guy who's beat Florida 3 times.
Right.
You know that he can be given the ball, and you know when all likelihood he's going to do the right thing and he's going to win the game. Right? You know that. Would you put in a backup quarterback out of the gate then?
No,
exactly.
But I'm not saying the Florida game. I'm saying, is he the best quarterback we have? Because if not, why? No. Let's say, okay, JT Daniels is hurt. Dwayne Mathis, we tried. To me, Carson Beck should have had a shot before Stetson ever stepped on that field during Arkansas. And it might be because Stetson knows the system better, and I get that. That's fair. But even the week after Arkansas, we had time to get either Dwayne or Carson ready while JT's healing.
Hold on. Let's look at what we have on the field. All right, we have to take JT Daniels out of the mix because we know he's not going to play at the start of the season. I've got a team circled that I have to beat called Florida. Got to win that game.
Right.
And I have every quarterback I have on my roster is not very experienced, right? So I have to make a decision. And my decision that I probably had a conversation with Todd Monken, and I said, hey, look, we got to beat Florida. What is the game plan? And I guarantee you the conversation went something like this. We're going to take the most experienced guy we have, and we're going to give him as many live snaps as possible and let him learn everything he can before we play this must-win game. That fits all the scenarios, answers all the questions, makes all the sense in the world as to why Stetson Bennett has started every game when every Georgia fan in the world knows in their heart DeJuan Mathis would be better in the long run, and probably so would JT Daniels. We were beating Tennessee. That's when we should have put Carson or JT in. No, you do. I'm telling you, the reason that Stetson Bennett stayed in was because he needed as much experience as possible. He needed every snap, because if he doesn't win this game, who are you going to put in? You're going to go back and you say, well, we should have played JT Daniels. Couldn't have played JT Daniels. His knee was messed up till week 3. Can't play him.
He wasn't cleared yet.
So then you're going to put in DeJuan Mathis.
But you're saying if he loses Florida, who we put in? JT's 100% healthy.
Yeah,
No.
do you still believe in Bennett if he loses Florida?
No, that's not. I'm not quite to that yet.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that when the season started, you're not going to play Carson Beck. He has no experience. You're not going to play JT Daniels. He's injured, right? So who does that leave you with? That leaves you with DeJuan Mathis and Stetson Bennett, right? DeJuan Mathis goes out and looks bad. He does. He looks bad.
And Stetson saved the game.
They put Stetson in. Offense took off like it wasn't no problem. Everybody's looking around going, where did this come from? This is really impressive. We like this, right? That's the same thing the coaches saw. We play the next game. Same thing happens. He looks really good. He's throwing darts. He's doing everything right. So now you've got this guy who now has 2 games worth of experience. Can you switch back to Mathis at this point, knowing that only 2 games down the road you're playing Alabama? No, you can't. You can't.
But you got to see the frustration from you're a Georgia fan. You got to, from the last 3 years, the way this has played out, you have to see the frustration with Georgia fans in the quarterback position.
I do, but you have to. What I'm doing is, trust me, me and you are on the same page, 100% on the same page. But I'm trying to view it from a coach's standpoint. Because that's the only way that I can logically understand why what has happened has happened. I would love to see them put in DeJuan Mathis and just give him a shot. But I'm not looking at the schedule the way Kirby Smart is. Kirby Smart's looking at the schedule and go, we got to win Florida. We have really no real experience in the SEC, with SEC play. Who do we play? And so now you've got him going, well, let's try DeJuan Mathis because we know what we got in Stetson. So let's run DeJuan Mathis. He goes out there, bombs. Okay, well, that was a bad idea, I guess. Let's put in Stetson Bennett. And then Stetson Bennett plays well. Now you're stuck with him at least until the end of this game.
Yeah.
If Stetson Bennett beats Florida, and he'll probably beat them by a small margin, it won't be nothing dramatic. What you will then see is that the rest of the season, you're going to see a lot more quarterback swapped out. You're going to see, they're going to play him in the, when we play whoever, Missouri or whoever, we'll play him.
He better not touch the field against Vandy.
he better not even make the trip, right?
No.
So what I'm saying is that I believe that makes sense, that is why they have played him as much as they have played him. Because if you look back, whenever Jake Fromm and Justin Fields were kind of competing for the position, there was a game we got blown out in, and it was Jake Fromm ran a series, Justin Fields run a series. Jake Fromm run half a series, Justin Fields run half a series. They were doing it back and forth. What's that?
That was the problem with that. But only one quarterback was allowed to throw. That was my problem with it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the situation up in Philadelphia. Like when Jalen Hurts comes in, it's gonna be run. I mean, that's what I saw with when Justin Fields came in while Fromm was starting. It is going to be read option, whatever. It was predictable.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Brett, because I gotta get off here in a minute. My phone's about to die. You gonna make a bet with me on this week?
On what?
I got the Irish, man. I keep saying it. My gut's telling me that Notre Dame's finally going to get one big win.
Notre Dame always chokes, man.
Let me ask you a question.
Hey, I don't know why. I just feel it.
Would
What's
you
up,
take
Brett?
Would you take South Carolina against Ohio State?
No.
Okay.
I want to see where
If
you're
you think
tying
that's an
this in. Where
even
are you
trade,
tying
man,
this in?
I don't.
Let me put it to you this way. If Georgia can beat Notre Dame with Jake Fromm at the helm,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Clemson can.
Who's quarterback?
It does not matter.
You say that.
That guy who's
But
playing,
ETN could not get it going without Trevor Lawrence at the helm.
and they still won.
To Boston College.
Yeah.
Barely. I'm just saying, man, I'm willing to bet you if you want to bet. I'll put up a Georgia thing.
What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet?
I don't know, man. I got some 1980 Bulldog beer right here. If you want to take that.
I'll tell you what. I'll bet you a Georgia hat. How about that?
That's fair.
I'll bet you a Georgia hat. We'll go
All
from
right.
there.
So Clemson wins. I'll get a hold of you and we'll figure out how.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it
All
out.
right.
But just so you know, if they win, I might ban you from the channel.
Oh, no, no. No, sir. You just
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not that guy.
Miguel,
You know
I
that.
bet you, man, but this is the one game I'll never bet money on or anything.
Which one?
Florida, Georgia.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. They say it's bad luck. It's
very bad. I remember I betted back when it was the year that they just had Chris Leak, and I think Georgia lost it. And Georgia was the favorite going into it.
You want me to tell you which team scares me the most these days? It ain't Alabama. I mean, we already know what that is.
Vandy? I don't know. I have nothing.
South Carolina.
Dude, don't look back at last year.
Dude, if we lose that game again this year, just something stupid.
Mush champ.
You know those coaches are going to be playing those pictures of them tearing up those hedges. There ain't no way we're losing that game this year.
What? It shouldn't have been no way we lost it last year.
Who else y'all got? Who else y'all got after us? Y'all got South Carolina.
The schedule gets a lot easier. South Carolina, Missouri, Vandy. I think who else?
Is it Mississippi State in Mississippi State on that list?
Yeah, Mississippi State, the Bulldogs, and that's it. We got all tough ones out the first 5 weeks.
Is Mike Leach gonna have a night?
Come on.
I'm ready. I am ready for.
Did you really just compare LSU to Georgia right now?
Oh,
you ready for Kiffin?
No, I'm ready for the Lane Kiffin Mike Leach showdown. I want to see 1,000 yards in one quarter. I want to see something.
Lane Kiffin's gonna own Mike Leach.
But hey man, what's your can you drop your Twitter in the chat? Or where's you got a Twitter? Big Dog Brett?
Me or him?
Both of y'all.
Here, I'll make it easy for you here.
I have a YouTube page, but
my Twitter is right at the bottom of the screen.
50 more people than I've ever had on my YouTube page right now.
You got what?
I said I got a YouTube page, but this is literally 50 more people than I've ever seen on my YouTube page.
Hey man, win or lose, we'll try to get back on this live Saturday. But
yeah, man, hopefully everybody stays healthy.
Yeah,
just
it's
so
a good game. I wish y'all had everybody. I wish we had everybody. So not a big
y'all take it easy, and
we
it's gonna be a good game Saturday.
We had to fight the mighty Tigers last week. So
just help me out here, Miguel. What was your coach doing, man?
The film or the video or whatever doesn't show, but you see Mullen run, and then it comes in and he's apparently throwing hooks. But he says he was trying to get the refs. He says this, says that. He shows up in the post game with Darth Vader on. Dan Mullen.
He was trying to hide his face because he didn't want to get arrested after the game. That's what that was. But the way that I look at
it, he actually punched someone?
No, I was just talking smack.
Oh, I was like, damn.
I believe they have
Well,
2
I gotta get
players
off here,
suspended,
man.
Sean. What's that?
I said I gotta get off here.
All right, brother.
I look forward to my hat Sunday. I'll
Yes,
talk
sir.
to you later.
Yep. I'll be looking forward to you sending me your hat. I appreciate that.
We'll see. Take it easy, Miguel.
You too.
All right, see you, bro.
Thanks, Trenches. So one of the things that I want to kind of bring up is I don't know how much. Do you ever watch baseball?
I mean, I like the Braves, but
Okay. So have you ever noticed in baseball that the umpires have a long memory? They notice whenever players try to embarrass somebody, like drawing a line in the dirt or telling them it was a terrible call and stuff like that.
yeah.
They keep up with that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and point this out for you. I would not be surprised if the referees are going to be sitting there very keenly watching both the Florida coaches and the Florida players for any kind of nonsense. And the moment any little thing happens, you're going to see a flag get yanked for unsportsmanlike conduct. Anytime that Florida does anything like that, they're going to want to shut that down quickly, because Georgia-Florida is a much bigger rivalry than Florida-Missouri. I would be very aware that when you start seeing that because Florida's already proved it'll go out there and throw bows. They've already proved it. They're not going to put up with that.
I don't think it got that serious, but when your head coach runs on the field and there's Missouri players around him, and then you got the sidelines clearing. If your head coach runs out there, I mean, I've been in a brawl in high school, and our head coach ran out there. And, I mean, it's like no one's going to do anything to your head coach or your quarterback, which I don't agree with that.
Well, this is the way I look at it. What's up, RN? What's up, Sean Stapleton? Alex MLD, Jason S., what's going on? This is the way I look at it. I get both sides of it. I really do. I understand that whenever when something goes down and your coach is involved, when something goes down and the coach is involved or a quarterback is involved or somebody takes a cheap shot on one of your guys, I understand that's a brotherhood standing up for each other. I get it. I really do. And I can understand how the players would view a coach if the stuff hit the fan and the coach didn't get involved. I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to tell you, he probably earned a lot of respect from those players because of that. And there's nothing wrong with that, so long as nobody gets hurt. But what I will say is, I really think that created an environment for the Georgia-Florida game where those referees are going to be standing there on pins and needles to shut it down as soon as it starts. So don't be surprised if you see that happens in this game. You're like, man, that's a bogus call, man. Yeah, but you got to understand that they're going to be watching Florida very, very closely for nonsense. And if it happens, they're going to call it immediately. They're going to shut it down right out of the gate. Ninja Turtle, thanks for the super chat, sir. He says, I don't know why everyone made a big deal about Dan Mullen wearing a costume to his press conference. He wears one to every one of them. Little trash talk there for you. Thank you, Ninja Turtle. Appreciate it, sir. Mullen is very lucky to not be suspended for that game. Now, I will say, as a sideline bystander, Monday morning quarterback, whatever you want to call it, that was bad. That is a head coach. He should not have been out there on the field jawing like he was. He should have been focused on trying to get his players back on their side of the field. Those kind of dumb penalties like that have turned games around before. And then all of a sudden, after a couple of these calls where it's a 15-yard personal foul, I mean, it's unsportsmanlike conduct, it's 15 yards. It only takes a couple of those to really turn a ball game and make it hard to get caught up. So to me, when I see a coach do that stuff, I'm like, hey, man, I understand y'all may have it in the bag, but that doesn't just set the stage for this game. It sets the stage for the next game. And the players, it can incense these players to think that it's okay for them to do that if they got away with it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Coach Gundy. Yep.
I'm gonna get out of here, man. I'm gonna try to get on the live after the game.
Well, I do. You know that I do. You know that I do live streams during the game and after the game, right?
Actually, you came up on my recommended because I've been looking up like 247 and the ESPN review of the game this week, and like they're all their takes, and your channel came up.
Well, that's awesome.
I just been on it for about an hour and a half.
Oh wow! So you're brand new here.
Yeah. No.
Well, feel free to join the channel anytime. I do fan reaction videos, usually live streams at the end of the games. I do a halftime report. And a lot of the people that you see in the comment section here are really here really consistently. And it's a really good community that we've managed to develop. It's nothing that I've done. I'm just myself. These guys show up and they pretty much just, I mean, you see the live stream hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
So, there's really, really good people here. We razz each other. And I like to get in depth in some of the conversations like we did tonight. I think that's important because it gives everybody perspectives that they may not have had. But real quick before you go, what is your score prediction for the game?
If it does not rain, if it's a light sprinkle and it's not bad, 38.
Woo.
38-35, 42-38, Florida.
Giving no respect to that Georgia defense. I can dig it, man.
38-35, 35-27. Like I said, depends on the weather predictions, but in my prediction, I can't give it to the dogs, man.
I'm cool with it, man. I'm cool with it.
Do it. What's your prediction, man?
I'm not going to tell you mine.
Oh, you're not going to?
Not in this video. I'm gonna make I do my my trash talk video, my prediction video. I do one of those for
Saturday, don't you?
No, I do it. I'll probably do it either Saturday morning or tomorrow. Okay. Actually, once I get off this live stream, I'm gonna pop up my video editing software and continue working on my prediction video because I've already started it.
You go crazy on the trash talking one, don't you?
It depends on the team.
You're gonna go crazy.
Some of the trash talking will be directed towards Florida. Some of the trash talking will be directed to our own head coach. So it's going to be this is probably going to be my best made video to date. So I think that this is a really good football game. I'm glad to see that Florida is starting to climb back into it because honestly, I'll tell you the same thing I tell everybody else. I want Georgia. I want your team. Whoever your team is, I want them to win every game they play, except when they play us. I want you to be the very best you can be, and I still want to beat you. I don't want to play Auburn with their worst team with a backup quarterback. I don't want to play Alabama with beat up or dinged up or a hurt back. I certainly don't want to play against their backup quarterbacks, but I don't want to play them without their best guys on the field. When I beat a team, I want them to be their best, and I want to beat them. And I want it to be a good game.
Oh, yeah. So when y'all played Alabama, you wanted Saban on the field.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's how I feel, man. Injuries are a bad thing, and I hate what happened to LeCount. I mean, it's a rivalry, and it's a hatred, but at the end of the day, like, I don't wish anyone to just tear ACL or get in a wreck.
No, not at all. If you watch my videos, especially my fan reaction videos, if I'm watching that show, even if it's a team, even if it's a Florida player or an Auburn player or an Alabama player, if somebody gets hurt, I'm the first one to say, I hope that guy's okay. I never want to see anybody get injured. There's so many people that's invested in this young person's career and their dreams that not only does that player get injured, all of the people around him suffer with him. And I always hate to see I hate to see any player get injured. So,
but like I said, man, I'm gonna try to join the live. I'm going down to Statesboro to watch the game. I don't know if you've heard how they get down there. So if it's a rough night,
where do you live, if you don't mind me asking?
Northwest Georgia, Carrollton.
Northwest
County.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Do you know
You
where
live in Georgia, or you just
do you know where Ella J is?
Yeah, you in the mountains. You up there with
Yeah, let me show you. Let me show you something real
we
quick.
played we went to a camp at Gilmer High School. That's in LJ, right?
Yeah, that's in Ella J. I'm gonna see if I can brighten this picture up. But I'm gonna hold this up to the camera. I'm gonna show you the view off my back porch.
Oh yeah, like I said, man, mountain boys.
I'm gonna find another picture here for you real quick. That was the sunset this evening. Let's see if I can find a picture of just me off the back porch here, because I've got a few. But I'm up here in the North Georgia mountains. It is nice and quiet up here. I don't have to deal with a whole lot of nonsense.
Yeah,
which is good. Give me 1 second here. I'm sure I got a picture here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Y'all might be able to see that a little better. That's my backyard.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah, that's nice, man. I'm in the city. You got like 4 acres for yard.
it looks a lot more than it is, but yeah.
But I'm gonna give you a follow on Twitter and subscribe to the channel, man.
Yeah, man. Always hit me up, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And don't worry. Oh, by the way, in the off season.
I'm a big. Well. I'm going to the Navy 2 days before Thanksgiving, so be off a little bit in recruiting this year. But yeah, I'm a big follower in recruiting.
Well, let me know whenever you get to your. I know you go through basic. You guys' basic's different than the basic I went through. Appreciate you volunteering to put yourself out there for the rest of us. But let me know. Send me an email of where you're at for your AIT, your advanced individual training. And we'll see if we can get some people to send you some care packages and stuff while you're going through all that fun stuff. It's always nice when you got people that send you some care packages. I won't do it to you in basic training because the drill sergeants might get after you a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you jumping on, man.
Yeah. You said you do you're on here Sunday or Monday?
It really kind of depends. This is obviously not my full-time job. This is something I do for fun. And I like the people that are on here. It's a lot of fun. The channel's growing pretty well, which is great. But I always do a Thursday night at 8:30, somewhere in there. Usually goes to around 10 o'clock, 10:30, whatever. And then I do a hate video, and the hate video comes out. And you can just watch that. You can download it. You can become a member. And there's some behind the scenes stuff. And I do some members only streams. There's also, I do recruiting videos. I do analytic videos. I do all kind of stuff. So I like to do fun stuff. Yeah. So do me a favor though, man, share it around, send it to your mama and them, let them know.
Oh yeah, man. My whole family's Georgia. I just grew up in the Tebow area. So Tebow era.
Hey man, I don't hate anybody for what team they like. I mean, if I got a Auburn fan on here for an hour and then I get a Florida fan on here for an hour, obviously I'll let anybody on here.
Yeah. So I haven't seen an Alabama fan yet, but
man, what are you talking about, man? I got my Alabama fans. I got a ton of them over here. I believe Sarah. Oh
Crane, yeah,
Dwayne
is
Dwayne RTR. There's Crimson Brave.
Appreciate it, Sarah Crane.
Yeah, there's a ton of Bama fans in here, man. Ton of Bama fans. Thanks, Dwayne.
Here, man. Stay safe this weekend, and
you too, sir.
Go Gators, baby. Go Gators.
I thought you was gonna say War Eagle. Just taking after your coach, man. That's all, you know.
Yeah, man. Mullen's a fool, man. But I'm gonna get out of here, man.
All right, man.
Nice talking to you. I'll see you.
Take it easy. All right, guys. Well, that was definitely a fun stream here. Let me go back to there we go. Well, hold on. There we go. There we go. Goodness gracious. Man, I'm all over the place. What just happened? I don't know. I done screwed it up. Seemed like a pretty good dude. It's kind of nice to see that I'm showing up in some of the recommended channels. That's thanks to all of you guys. I think in the past week, from the last video, we went from 3,100 subscribers, from 3,000 subscribers to 3,120. So that's great. We appreciate that. All right, guys, it's getting pretty late on. Normally, I don't like to go past 10 o'clock, but I still got another video I got to finish editing. So I got to get on that. You guys are great. Thank you so much for being here with us. Wait a second. Have a great day. God bless. Go Dogs.